everybody, what's going on? Today we are taking a look at a little card game called Souk. Souk was originally put out by a company called Danko under the name Spice Merchant. And this is a reprint by Bombix. I'm going to go ahead and show you how the game works, then I'll come back and tell you my final thoughts on this little game in a tin. To set up the game, the first thing you'll do is put together this board that goes in the center of the table. It's made up of 4 puzzle pieces. You're going to give every player one of these reference cards, which has each type of good that comes in the deck of cards. On the side here it tells you how many of each, and over here it has a value scale which tells you how valuable it could possibly be. Everybody gets one of those. There's also a star player marker, which I'll put over here for now. And then the deck of cards itself, which you're going to shuffle up and give every player 7 cards. So let's take a look here. There's my 7. As you can see, these cards are the same ones that are shown up here in the little lines that run down the card. And they have values, and they go from the lowest, and if you turn the card, then it's the next value, next one, highest possible value. The game is played over 4 rounds, and during each round, during the first 2 rounds, you're going to pick one of these cards, you'll put it face down in front of you. Everyone can do this simultaneously, and then you'll replenish back up to 7. During the last 2 rounds out of the 4, you will put down 2 face down cards. And those are basically the cards that you are saying are going to be worth a good amount of money at the end of the round. The rounds go very quick. During your turn, you get to do one of 2 things. You're either going to add cards to this market, to the stalls, and there are 7 of these, or you are going to commit 1 card, this one face up, to the stuff you are selling. And you can do that once per round only. So 1 or 2 face down, and then at most 1 face up. When you're adding cards to the stalls, you can play as many as you want of one kind and add them to a single stall. So for example, I can play both of these here and then replenish my hand by drawing 2 more cards. The round is going to be over when either there is something in all 7 stalls, or 2 of them have the maximum amount of cards you could possibly play, which is 4 cards. So let's say the next player here, let's assume they had committed a card, and they are going to play, let's say they want to play all 4 of these, which they could do. So they could play all 4 of those right there. And then they would draw a replacement, and this player would go. Now let's say this player, for example, they don't, but let's say they had another one of those blue cards, which are now nowhere to be found. There we go. Then they could commit this one face up because they know it's the highest value it could possibly be. And here's why. Once the round is over, with again these having at least something in all 7, or 2 of them being just like that, full up, then everybody reveals the secret with the other one they had, and they are going to total up what they would make. So, for example, if this is a situation and I have a green card, of which there are 2 here, then the green card to me would be worth the second value, which in this case is, there's the 2, 5. And then let's say my other card was blue, it's the highest value it could be, which in this case would be the 6. I would put these like so in front of me. Everybody else would do the same, selling for whatever the price is, and then we would shuffle up and do it again, play 4 rounds just like that. These stay out, they do not get shuffled back in, and you keep them around for the end game scoring. One more thing to be aware of is that sometimes there might be multiple stalls that have the same kind of card. So let's say this card would be here in this stall. Then green cards are still worth, if this is the situation, just the first value. These are not combined. Just like if you have 2 blue cards, like here, and there's only 1 grouping of blue out there, then you just sell one of these 2 cards. The other one would actually be worthless. Or if there was 1 more blue out there, right there, let's say, then you could sell 1 for the highest value and the other for the cheapest value because of that card there. So that's basically it. Start player will go around the table And once you've played all 4 rounds, you see who has the highest total, and that player is the winner. Alright, so there you have it. Souk, very simple game as you can see. It's really a filler. The game takes about 20 minutes or so. The box says 15. It took a little bit longer than that with the full complement of players. And really, I have to say that's my favorite way to play it. With 5 players, this game really hums. It's very simple, as you can see, and some of the choices in fewer player games are a little, sort of rob you of that push your luck where you are hoping to commit something, but you don't want to commit too early and miss out on big points on something else. And the tension just really ratchets up when you play with the full complement of 5 players. I really like that on your turn, you can commit a card 1 face up. That's the only one you get. Or you can wait 1 more go around and then commit with a lot more information. But you know what? It might not come around to you. People might fill up all 7 of those stalls and the round's over. And you never committed an extra card, which is rough. You get to score 2 or 3 cards in the last 2 rounds, right? 2 face down, 1 face up at most. So you got to be careful. Commit early, but people know what you're going for, or later, but you might not get to do it at all. I enjoyed it. As a filler, I think it's a really neat game. I love the artwork. I like the square cards. I like that you change the composition of the deck as you play more and more rounds because the cards that you scored are kept out of the game. So again, a nice little game, subtle game, which might be, it might be hard to sort of spot the fun in this one, but I think for those who like neat fillers that are a little bit cerebral, this could be one that you enjoy. So if all that sounds good, I recommend you check out Souk, a neat little filler.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.